There was also the UK deal, right? That Boeing was impacted by that $10 billion plane deal as part of the UK trade deal. And then you had this $30 billion agreement with Korean Air for 50 wide-body jets. So after some struggles, now Boeing's on quite a run. Doug Flynn, co-founder of Flynn Zito Capital Management, joins us now. And that run includes, or has included, its stock price of late, right, Doug?
It has. I mean, they've suffered a bit overall in terms of, you know, how all the problems that they had, and you know, the stock has done absolutely nothing over the past 5 years. But you know, they're narrowing their losses. They used to be a great earner for earnings and dividends, and they had a ton of losses and ate through a lot of cash, and now they're starting to narrow those losses. And with this backlog, I mean, I think they have about $500 billion in a backlog of orders, and that doesn't include this deal. So you know, it's going to take them a while to fill all this. It takes years, and they only deliver, especially on the bigger planes, maybe 3 or 4, or in some cases 6 per month. So maybe they ramp that up a little, but it's going to take a while. But that's good, because they're going to need that, and then they hopefully can get rid of those losses and start earning again and get some positive earnings, and that does really well for the stock.
You're killing my momentum here. I was building this up, oh, big thing for Boeing, and you're like, oh, the stock's been a dud for 5 years. Now, let's be fair, Doug. There's not, at least they don't have people flying out the window anymore, you know, that kind of thing. So they, you know, things are better.
Sure.
This is a part of an improvement. Now, if we're being serious about this deal overall, I think we have the numbers of it that we could put up on the screen. The Qatar deal. I say Qatar, some say Qatar, but you know, in the English-speaking countries, Qatar is acceptable. So you say you're going to buy up to 210 planes, right? What did you make of this and the way the president's been putting some of these deals together from a business standpoint? Important?
Yeah. Definitely. It's all for the longest time since the Liberation Day. We were talking about, can we see a deal, not only with the country, but some other things. And so this is all part of, finally, you're seeing some deals. So all that talk of we haven't seen anything, now you're starting to see some of those things. So not only on a country basis, but also on a company basis, this is more to the amount of trillions of dollars in total that are coming to the U.S. from manufacturing. That's going to help and secure jobs, or, you know, keep jobs if they already have them, or maybe even expand those jobs. And so what you've got going on is a really broad backdrop of the tariff risks coming down, recession odds coming way down as a result of this, because all of these things are accretive and positive for both the companies and the country. I think that's where we're seeing this. And so announcing those things, right, putting the pen to paper and actually inking them, we want to see as well. But these are some good pieces of news that we've wanted to hear.
Well, the thing with the president, sometimes, you know, he's been prone to exaggeration, right? I think everybody, even his biggest fans, will tell you that. So he's going to come out with, oh, it's going to be a huge number, or it's the best deal ever, or the tariffs are going to be, you know, all of that thing. I had a guest on yesterday who you may know, Brandon Daniels, who's an expert on supply chains, and he made an interesting comment in the way he kind of put it. He says, you know, at the end of the day, you're trying to go maybe 10, 15% in one direction to what you were talking about. In other words, we've been bleeding manufacturing jobs for years. So this idea that we're going to bring them all back, it probably is not. It's not going to happen, right? It's probably not, and maybe we don't want it to happen. But if you stop the bleeding and you go back a little bit in the other direction, that might be a success.
I agreed wholeheartedly. It's just, first of all, you got, like, if your boat's sinking, you got to plug the hole first before you do anything else. Once you do, now you can work on getting rid of the water and then, you know, getting yourself to safety. So 100% agree that it's stopping the bleeding, stopping the boat from sinking, and then figuring out where you are and then moving forward. So making some small progress, and then that builds. I'm a big believer in momentum. As things begin to go, it sort of builds on itself. So hopefully we see some of that.
So like Boeing, you keep the doors on the plane when they're in the air, and then you can get Qatar to start buying your jets. Thank you, Doug.